Thanks to an Italian friend, chess player, candidate master, I had the chance to watch some of his games. He just sent me this game that was played in a team championship in Italy just a few days ago on March 16. My friend is white and he opens with e4. C5 is the Sicilian, which is an opening that I wish I would have the time to learn, because I think it's a kind of more spicy of what I play over the board. And as we can see, also in this game, it will bring some kind of tactic and attacking the lights. Now, I'm going a little fast here because this is honestly just the opening. But for example, I thought, who knows what Emanuele would have played against this, because I think this is the most used move in this position. Obviously, white took, and of course black took with a b pawn, because to take with a d pawn is a mistake. And now we have this move that is very interesting, because Fritz 19 would play it, but the opening book of Fritz 19 doesn't make Fritz play that move. It gives him a kind of the move bishop d3, it's marked like a mistake, so Fritz avoids it in the book. Obviously it's not a mistake, but maybe gives a draw right away, two games between engine, so they avoided Fritz to play this, okay? And Fritz would play this move. I follow this move in the opening book, Fritz opening book, using the criteria of playing the moves that were most played as number of games. And this is the result, and it's kind of funny, because at a certain point we arrive in this position that I honestly don't think a human would like to play. Then of course I don't know anything about the Sicilian, maybe this is the latest fashion, I don't know. But this is the line Fritz would play, and I definitely wouldn't play. So I don't know, it's very funny, I think, at this point. So Emanuele played this move, d5 obviously, because he wants to attack the center and try to gain some space. Castle, bishop e7, queen e2. This is also an interesting move, because generally when I watch a game I try to ask myself what is the idea behind my opponent move. In this case I think white wants to put something here that probably could be a rook, right? And so that's why he's vacating the square. But notice also that then this thing has obviously a possible X-ray attack on the queen, so in a sense it will oblige also the enemy queen to move at a certain point, okay? And then of course there is another problem, that is this. If these two pieces are on the same diagonal, with this that comes out, then we can have a problem, right? So that's why I stop for a minute to ask myself why he played queen e2, and of course maybe there is overprotection of the pawn e4, etc, etc. But okay, this was just some thinking when I watched the game. So castle, and here white plays rook e1. Maybe it was played prophylactically to avoid a possible bishop a6, like I said, because at a certain point, in my opinion, if I would be black, I will play a5, bishop a6, and if this is not here, to have the queen and the rook here, it's a problem, it's a skewer, right? I don't know. In my opinion, instead of rook e1, I would have played bishop f4 because I take control of this b8 and I put into communications the two rooks. That's why. But honestly, I don't think it makes any difference in the beginning of a game. Most of the time, it's all the same. And the engine, strangely, are always able to justify all the craziness possible. So it's a kind of waste of time even to think sometimes. Okay, now he played bishop f4, so this is also interesting. And now there is a move a6, which I think it's very, very slow. It's not a move you should play. Again, I try to understand why black played this move. My opinion is that black wants to obviously move this pawn here, and he wants to keep control of the square here, thanks to this pawn here, okay? So he wants to keep control of b5. But in my opinion, it's a very, very slow plan. That is not going to work, especially in the Sicilian, since, like I said, it's an opening I would like to learn because it's very, very sharp, right? And we will see what happens here. Okay, rook a1, like I said, that was the reason behind queen e2, queen a5. Maybe here black wants to play pawn d4, attacking this, and then obviously take this. This is a possibility, okay? Notice also that the queen here, once the pawn is moved, this d pawn is moved away, keeps control of the fifth rank, which is very important because white will want to attack there, right? But obviously white makes a nice move. He blocks everything. He blocks the visual on the fifth rank, he gains space, he takes away the knight f6, which is a defender of a castle, because generally this knight here defends this, but now he's gone because this pawn is gonna take it if he doesn't move away, right? So knight d7, queen g4 immediately, no? And here we see why the plan on the other side was too slow. Why? Because the goal of the game is to give checkmate, and here white is already doing it, while black has no threats at all. No threats at all, honestly. No threats that are very important. Yes, maybe you can gain material, but since we all have watched Morpheus games, we know that going to be greedy and take material, it's a recipe for a disaster, right? How does white continues here? Now, this is the funny thing. Again, when I watch a game, I try to ask myself some questions. I wanted to play this move, okay? After bishop, instead of bishop g5, I wanted to play this. Okay, h4. Why? Because, sorry, maybe I need to, so we were here, g6. g6 is a move that weakens the castle, the enemy's castle, and so instead of playing bishop g5, I wanted to play h4. This is the move I would have wanted to play, no? I wish I could play, but maybe it's too fast, and this is the difference between a good player like Emanuele and me. He played something more prophylactic. maybe he realized that in order to have success in his attack, he needs to remove this bishop. The move I really wanted to play in that situation was rook e3, no? Because obviously I want to attack, no? But the problem of rook d3 is, boom, this, which is a 4, no? And so I have a huge problem here. And so when I saw a fork, I said, oh my God, look what I played. And then, because we are all stubborn and we never give up in chess, I continued with a desperado move. Boom! Because this is the way to go, no? Okay, let's see if you really take that rook and let's see what happens. Obviously, black cannot take the rook. He has to take back. And then I take this. But yet, this cost me a bishop. It's not that I went out of it for free. However, this is the rook e3 is the move that I also wanted to play because I wanted to attack on the king side. And so I thought h4 or rook e3. Obviously, I don't know which of the two would work, and I continued to watch the game because I understood more things while I was watching the game. For example, now I'm definitely... this is the problem. After a certain age, we are very solid. We try to avoid problems. And obviously, the fourth thing I thought in this position was the same identical move that the white played. But in reality there is a more crazy move that is probably more interesting. Also, if obviously I'm not sure it works, okay? This one. Boom. Because the idea is that we are trying to attack and give checkmate, right? Takes, and I brought practically the rook into the game. Obviously I'm down on material, but look now. Boom! That's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to exchange the bishops. In reality, the geniality of this move is that I remove this, but obviously I have to pay a price. It's not free, okay? I remove this thing, this bishop. So that is the genius behind knight e4. The problem is that I'm not sure it actually works. But it seems a good move, honestly. It seems a good move, okay? This is the line I calculate. Obviously, to go 4 moves in calculation, it's a lot, especially during a game. And here I'm obviously more relaxed than Emanuele during the game, so I understand this move. But I think this move would have crushed that guy immediately. Boom. That's it. So bishop takes g5, queen takes g5, rook f8, knight e2, queen e7. Obviously we don't want to exchange the queens, because if we exchange the queens, things are not going well for our attack. But notice this, for example, he is exchanging a knight for that bishop, and yes, it's good in a sense, but I think it helps white to bring another piece into the game. So watch, knight f4, king h8, h4, and knight takes d3. So, in my opinion, this move unfortunately brings a piece that white wanted to bring there, because again, I wanted to pull this thing, have the rook in the fourth rank to attack. So I don't know if this gives an advantage to white, right? So c5, now we finally see, oh, we are at move 22, and black only now is able to push this pawn. Clearly it shows that the plan wasn't right. h5, continue to attack, c4, not really working, I calculated a little variant like this. I tried to calculate this. Knight h3, h6 to defend. But then again, as you can see, the problem is here that the rook is already on the fourth rank and is entering the game. Rook g8, rook f6. How do you defend the h6 pawn? You cannot play king h7, and you need to play queen f8. But it's a massacre here, because as you can see, this is the line I saw. It's impossible to defend h6. So obviously, let's return back. He played c4, rook d4, blocking the diagonal, and again putting the rook in a rank that could be useful for the attack. g5, and now there is a very genius move, very great move. One could stop the video and see what he will play. Obviously, it's needed. It's a move that is needed at this point, right? h6, very good move. Rook g8, knight h5, rook g6, knight f6. Queen f8. The problem is obviously that one cannot take h6 right away. And g4, bishop c6. So why black played bishop c6? Because in any case, we need to ask ourselves why. No? That bishop is dead. It's like if black has played the game without a bishop up to now. So maybe he's trying to activate the bishop, playing on a4 and then attacking c2, that is here, or c2, or maybe he's just opening the file for the rook, maybe. Again, in my opinion, this plan is kind of slow, also if I understand it, because unfortunately white has an attack. But here there is this move, rook d2. This is clearly a prophylactic move, because we are using a rook to defend a pawn. That's crazy, right? Because the rook is 5, a pawn is 1. But at the same time, it shows how good white as player is, because before launching a final attack, he makes sure that in his territory everything is peachy, like they would say in Georgia, right? Rook d8, queen e3, rook b8. Black is a little indecisive on many things in his life, so I should take a step back and think it through. Rook b7. Okay, this is good because obviously he's trying to take control of f7 or even g7 if he needs it to. But unfortunately, red has already a very good attack. And watch this, rook e3, and he plays queen c7, which I don't think it's a good move, in the sense that after one move he goes back to e7. So I came out with this, queen d8. Now I'm not saying this move works. Rook f3, rook d7, and rook f6. So I think also in this case black is not able to stop the attack, the white's attack, but it's better than what he played in the game. Watch this. He played queen c7, knight f6, queen e7. Come on. He just gave a tempo to white, really, like, because white really needs that you gift him another tempo. And then the other question at this point is why black didn't take on h6? Because this would be important. So I came out with this, but unfortunately I think it loses right away, probably, and white wins. So that's the reason why it was impossible probably to take on h6, and he played queen e7. Okay. Now we are finishing the game. But it was an interesting game. the lines are becoming open, and so it's the end of the game. Obviously white is not exchanging the rooks because he's attacking. And here we see that again it brings another piece into the attack, because at this point it doesn't matter if black has some kind of counter attack on the queen side. And now you can pause the video and try to find the checkmate that is in a couple of moves, 2-3 moves. So if you pause the video and you're ready to see the solution, here it is. Rook takes h6, rook takes h6, and queen takes h6, and the game is over. This is a beautiful end of this game, but honestly, black didn't do much throughout all the game, maybe from the beginning due to that wrong plan of a6, and that light square bishop was really doing badly. Thank you for sharing this game, thanks to Emanuele. And he played also another game. He plays a lot of tournaments, so he plays a lot of brilliant chess. And good luck to him for the future.